online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hi everyone, I am Kimberly Crossman. I'm your host for today's Marco Polo show, White Moon. Very excited. You guys can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter at Kim Crossman.
Hi, I'm June Lee. You guys can follow me at ms_JUNELEE on Twitter.
Yes, I'm Michael Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter, at Michael Andrew, right? That's my name.
I think so.
EAL.
That's important to know.
Yes, it is. Because you got to spell my name right if you want to tweet me.
And I'm Katie Wilbert, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Katie Wilbert.
Yeah, and this is interactive too. We want to know what you guys think of the show. You can live stream us on YouTube, SoundCloud. Where else can you guys find us?
iTunes,
Twitter, Instagram.
I'm going to say iTunes.
I'm sorry.
iTunes.
You guys can check us out at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV.
Yes. And if you guys want to interact with us, make sure you comment or use the hashtag ABTV Marco Polo.
Yes.
So, this is pretty exciting. This is my first time hosting in the hot seat, so make sure if you do comment, it's all nice things.
Yes, no hating. Let's give her a big, warm Marco Polo loving welcoming.
I appreciate that. So, episode 5, White Moon. I'm interested to know, everyone's initial thoughts.
So good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it felt like a lot of alliances were shifting or plotting. It felt really the plot is thickening. It didn't feel like so much was happening until the very end got really
full on.
Yeah.
But it definitely felt like one of those episodes where things were shifting and shit's about to go down.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it kind of had this. Yeah, you're right. It didn't really bubble, and then right before the end, it was like,
Yeah, it went crazy.
Whereas I know that you had said last week, Michael, each episode tops each other. Do you feel that about this one, or do you feel it was more content?
I do, Kimberly. Me and June were saying this right before the show started today. Well, this show, not the other show. Was that how much we just felt it was just jumping, and we literally said every episode it just keeps getting better.
I know.
Stakes are rising so much.
And we got another chance to see Biamba, and every episode.
He's handsome.
I did have a moment of hey, Biamba.
Hi, Biamba. You hit that stick. You hit it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There are a lot of.
You're our Biamba.
Oh yeah, you are, Michael. Yes. Hey. He's blushing now. He's blushing.
So.
I love the world viewing process in this episode. I mean, I thought the costumes this episode were just so beautiful. What Lady Chabi was wearing. I really noticed what everybody was wearing.
The Marco Polo white.
I know,
all white. That was nice.
The costuming was on point, and I told you guys before, I love seeing the world because it's so nice to just be transported into this completely different world.
There was one moment where the Khan's actually being dressed by the other people, and I thought that was pretty cool. Everyone rushes in. I was I want to be dressed.
I like seeing the commoners as well. Them going through with the people holding the tent things to shield her from the sunlight. But that was a moment that I noticed the costuming too.
Yeah.
And also how beautiful she is.
I know, she's so beautiful.
And she
Chabi?
holds herself.
Yeah, Chabi.
Yeah.
I know, she's such a
queen face.
Yeah, she does.
She's got a queen face.
Queen face. Everybody do the queen face.
I can't do the queen face. I'll do the Khan grunt.
Yeah.
That was
good actually. So I thought we could start by talking about the Blue Princess because I feel like this is an episode where we got to learn a lot more about her and revealing her past that, well, in fact, she is not the Blue Princess.
Sneaky lady.
Did you have any idea, anyone, that was even a thing?
No.
I know. Well, I mean, I did because I saw it before.
Yeah.
But like before I saw the episodes, no, I didn't. Negui is her name. It's her real name.
You remember the name too?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was
I'm on top of the name.
Now she's
I'm gonna keep calling her
Blue
Kokochin.
Princess.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna call her Kokochin 2, the sequel. No, but
So why? Because I was a little confused by this. Weren't they invading then to take her? So
I thought they were just invading to conquer the village, and that they would take the princess as I don't know, hostage, but basically take her to be in the court, or if she refused to go, they'd kill her. Like that's, I think, I don't know if that's actually ancient practice, but that's what I assumed was the situation, and that's why the actual Blue Princess killed herself.
Yeah.
what I was confused by, why didn't Kokochin just run? Why didn't Kokochin just run? Why did
Because she wouldn't have been able to outrun the horses and outrun the warriors.
When you could hear everyone screaming outside,
but like her man ran. Why did she run?
You mean like the Blue Princess that we know now, the Negui,
Negui, sorry.
or Negui. How am I saying that right? Negui.
Are you looking at me saying that right? Like I would know.
I think she's our
I'm gonna
Blue
say
Princess,
Negui.
though. Like maybe she wasn't their
The Blue Princess,
but
yeah.
She's
our Blue Princess, yeah. Well, I think she's smart. She knew, I think, when you live your whole life as a servant, I'm sure you would like to have an opportunity to go up. And this was one of those rare opportunities. Like she told the real Kokochin, like, isn't it better to be alive and to be, in the Khan's court? Like, is that really that bad? You're royal. They probably won't treat you that poorly. But the real Blue Princess is like, no, I have too much honor. I will kill myself before I go into the devil's arms.
Yeah.
But she had to do so much because she had to hide the body, get dressed. I just thought that was.
She didn't hide it, isn't she?
No, she didn't hide the body. Yeah.
Laying there?
Yeah.
But it was just, I don't know, it just threw me off. It didn't throw me off, but I was confused as to why she, like, it just feels like, what's her end game?
Improving her station and not dying, I think. Yeah, if you lived your whole life as a servant and you saw the opportunity to go live in the Khan's court as the Blue Princess, would you not try?
But
I mean, or Blue Prince.
Well, true.
If we're making it gender neutral.
Because you're gonna die.
Yes.
You're not gonna receive the same kind of favor because you're a servant. They're gonna kill you.
No,
or rape you.
I feel like they thought.
Or both.
Probably both.
I feel like they thought they were gonna get away. Like the guy who's her man, who's her betrothed, I think, right? I think he felt like they could get away. So they were under the impression that they could get away. But when she saw she died, I just like
I
she
think
made
she
that decision to.
I think she decided to stay because that was her, that was her master, and like you don't run away from your master,
In LA, you would.
I know.
Back in those days, you wouldn't run away from your master.
Loyalty
I know.
You die with your master. If your master is dying, you die with them. But Kokochin was, a little bit.
I know, but it makes every episode with her pretending to be the Blue Princess and how bold she is, even. Everyone's just so bold when they're imprisoned. It always makes me crazy.
Michael's like, Marco needs to calm down. The Blue Princess needs to calm down.
They're also like, people die like it's nothing. And they're in enemy's territory, and they're just like, let me just do this, running away. Like,
but it's all about honor and power in this show. Like you see it. That's always the conversation, even if it's silent. It's like, in this moment, what are they doing? Is it for power or is it for honor? Like, I think it's always the two scales, and they tip in each scene.
Right. That's the romance of the show.
Yeah, it's like a tango between honor and power.
I'm going to segue off the romance. I thought, because like the next times we see her, she's obviously walking with all the other ladies, and she has a chance to speak her voice because obviously she was a commoner. Why? Because then later we see her, and the queen looks to her as if, I'm going to marry you off to the prince. I thought that was an interesting shift because I really felt when she confronts her and actually speaks back to her. I don't know. The queen is an interesting character to me. It's like whenever she feels threatened by someone, she brings them closer. Oh, so I thought it was really
interesting.
For me,
like
that
Kublai.
was an interesting shift when, the Blue Princess is like, actually, you know, you should walk around here without your armed guards and see how it really is and see what the attitude really is. And then the queen's response to that is, first of all, to say nothing, and then later on, we're like, she should marry my son. I don't know.
Well, I think
interesting.
To me, it didn't feel like a malicious thing. To me, it just felt like
From the Blue Princess, or
from Chabi. I think from
Okay.
the queen's perspective, I think she was like, okay, like she's kind of seeing the Blue Princess kind of grow up and be in the Khan's court, and she's smart, she's aware, and
similar to her.
yeah, exactly. So I think there's like a level of respect there, and I think Chabi feels that Kokochin understands the common people in a way that Jingham doesn't, because he's kind of grown up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
Right.
And he has this reputation of not being Mongol enough, whereas Kokochin was a Mongol princess, you know. So I think it's strategic,
Okay.
but I think there's a level of respect for her, just
I didn't see
as
it like
well.
that. Okay. All right, June.
All right.
I think that's an interesting point, though, that they
Yeah.
tend to bring in their enemies closer, and
Yeah.
it feels like a more effective way to operate, perhaps, unless those people conspire against you and try to murder you.
Right.
Well, it's like a Meilin all over again.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to make out with you. That's how I'm going to control you.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt it too, but that's
that's a good
interesting
point.
if it is more advantageous to bring this person who might have a different perspective and represent your son in a better light, like if it's coming from that place. But she's so
Right.
surprising, the queen. You don't know
Yeah, you
what
never
her
know.
angle
Because
is.
it also happened right after she saw the Blue Princess speaking to Marco. So I was like, I don't know what level she's doing.
Do you think
Very
that?
interesting.
Do you think that when she was talking back to her, when the Blue Princess spoke back to Chabi and was giving such, I won't say attitude, but stood her ground, maybe Chabi respected that and was like, I want this one with my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
My
Jingham
boy.
is such a puppy dog, and we
Yeah.
keep talking about them, and he's just like,
You had more moments in this show too, where you're
Yeah.
like,
just
No,
it's just like all he does is whimper.
I didn't really like him. This episode, I was kind of
Nut
like,
up.
Jingham. Yeah, nut
Man up. Nut up?
Jingham?
Did you say nut up?
I said
I like
nut
that.
up.
That's what I'm talking about.
I've never heard that before. Nut up. I like
There you
that.
go,
Nut up,
June.
we've got
Throw it
gross-
around like
Grow some
wildfire.
cojones, is that what you're saying, right? Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Nice.
Yes, June. Yes. I like that was good.
I felt like a lot of this episode was mainly kind of women focused. I mean, we'll get into the Khan, we'll get into the prince and things
Yeah.
too, but then we've got, now I can't pronounce her name.
Oh, Kutulan?
Thank you,
Kutulan?
June.
Kutulan?
Which
The
I
warrior
call her
princess?
warrior badass chick.
Yes, she's
I call
a
her warrior
warrior
princess.
badass
Warrior-
chick.
We'll call her warrior princess then. Yeah, because so she kind of comes in. She's so strong.
I
She's
know.
sexy.
She's awesome.
I'm like,
Everybody on
watch
this
out
show
for her.
is sexy.
Yeah.
They are. That's true. She is that sort of, I'm gonna kick your ass and then we'll have sex with you.
Yeah.
Which we've seen her do.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally what
That's her first
game
base.
is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
First base is sex.
Sex.
She wrestles you. Like, okay, got him. And straddles him. Good.
So what do you think about her? Because she comes in, she's kind of like, hey, I'm here to protect you. And then she's got this thing with Biamba, this like sexual tension where you're like, you guys,
Yeah.
you gotta make it
They're
out.
kind of made for each other. They're perfect
Punch
for
each other in the face.
Punchy,
and then
punchy,
they-
pashy, pashy.
Yeah, but that throws me off too because she's flirting with Biamba. Meanwhile, she
Got Marco
humped
on the
Marco
side.
into the ground. You know, she like humped him into the dirt. You know what I mean? She like imprinted him
She did.
on her land.
She did.
So and it's just
Probably
like
into that. So yeah.
yeah. So it's crazy. Like I didn't even know that they had that little playful thing going back and forth. Because the last time you saw them together, he just kind of brushed it away. You know, aren't they cousins?
Pro incest.
Are they
I don't know.
That should not happen.
Kind of, because like it's
it now
they're kind of
how
like far
cousin are
away. They're kind of far away because
Kublai, I gotta talk to you, Kublai. This
no,
isn't,
it's kind of far away because you have Kublai's cousin is Kaidu. Right?
Yeah.
So Kublai is like
Oh, second cousins is
father, you know, and then also you got to figure out that like Biamba is like only like a half blood. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
there's all these different things.
So there's a
But I don't know.
possibility that their
They're far
spawn
away.
won't come out a little
With 8 legs?
questionable.
Yeah.
With
I think
pigtails.
they'll come out very big.
You won't need a horse. He'll run. He'll run to the Kakashin.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Anyways.
So that was kind of an interesting dynamic to me to see these women really carry this show in terms of their
Yeah.
dynamics, and then you've got all these strong women who, together walking the street. I just thought there were a lot of moments where I was like,
And they showed
interesting.
strength in a different way too, which I really liked. Kokachin doing it in that respectful, but speaking up, saying, maybe there's a better way to be doing this, and then the queen executing that power by maybe being like, I'm going to marry you off. Like, they hold themselves in such a way that is very royal, and then you've got Mei Lin, who it's more of an aggressive power and really physical, and I think it's so interesting to see how they show that, and I think it's nice too to see three-dimensional characters also set in a place that is so unique, and I don't know, like, actually, were we to go back and be translated into that time, like, were women as powerful as they're being shown in the show? I'm not sure, but it's nice
I'm
to
digging
see
it,
the
though.
levels.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to Mei Lin, this was
Yes.
an interesting episode for her. Spoiler alert, but if you're watching this, you've probably seen the show.
And if not, what's wrong
If
with
she's
you?
not,
No.
yeah, exactly.
Go watch it right now.
Did she die at the end? Do we know?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I'm staying out of this one.
June knows.
Oh, well, June knows, and now she just spoiled it for us.
We're in the camp.
I'm just going to.
Well,
Wait, I didn't spoil anything. I didn't say anything.
But because I guess that was interesting to me that they didn't cut back to her, because
Yeah.
it seemed like she was dying, but they didn't cut back to her.
That
So
was
I
a
was
little
like,
arrow through the shoulder. She's
She was
good.
still
A
screaming.
little arrow through the shoulder, not a big deal.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
A big deal.
Afraid for her.
They're probably good.
Yeah, I don't think she's dead. She probably
Yeah.
would be
She's,
better
yeah,
off
she's,
being
she's,
dead.
she's probably done next
She's
episode.
gonna be. Yeah.
well,
They're probably
but
gonna trample her
do you?
with horses.
They probably will.
I
We can say that for the predictions.
Yeah, we'll say that.
With
because
children.
she was interesting too, like coming in with the poison on her lips. Do you think the queen knew, or because there was a weird moment there?
I think the queen was actually trying to just display power. Like, I'll let you know when I'm gonna kiss you. Know your role, because she still is afraid of her. Still wants to keep her in check, the same way we were just talking about before.
Yeah.
But my question is she trying to kill the queen, or was she
Yeah,
going for
she
Kublai?
was. Absolutely. She
I
was trying
thought
to
that
kill the
she
queen.
changed her mind.
Yeah,
I
that's
it
what
felt
I
like she
thought.
came in for him, and then she's like,
You know,
actually,
let me kill
I
this
hate
one
you.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was trying to get both. She
I
had
thought
to
it would
get
be
Kublai,
both.
then chose
And then-
her.
But I think there's a bit of.
Oh,
I don't
you
know,
think
she looked
you
at
think
Kublai and she couldn't, is what I felt like. And yeah,
She
it
had
shifted
Kublai right there.
focus.
Yeah, and
She
she
had it
could
right
have.
there.
You
You
think, come.
you think Zhao Shidao wanted Mei Lin to kill Kublai?
Oh yeah, yeah. Why kill the
Why would
queen?
it be
Yeah.
kill the queen?
And like,
I thought it was a queen.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
Right? No. That's what I
Right?
thought too in the beginning. But then no, like then why would she?
oh, so even when you shot the arrow, you think
Yeah.
that she's going after
She
the
did.
queen?
It did go towards the queen though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the
That's
whole
what
thing
I
was
thought.
like, oh, he wants
Why would it be
to
the
kill
queen?
the Khan.
I don't know.
Because she's not personally threatened by the queen. Like she was given a mission to use the poison, I thought, to kill Kublai so she could come back home and keep
Get
her
the
daughter
daughter.
safe. Because basically the message was, you've got this amount of time, and that was the friend, right? Being like, he'll do worse. Like, so finish up. You don't get to come home until
Yeah.
you're done. And so I thought she was like doing it. And then she chickened out, and she should have. She should have just.
I know. Well,
Done it.
I think she let her passion. Well, if she was trying to kill Kublai and she changed her mind last second, that's just, she really hates the queen. That just lets you know how she really feels about the queen. And she saw her opportunity, and she was like, you know what? Let me just get this one first. Let me get you first, and then I'll graduate.
That's what I definitely thought, that the goal was to kill the Khan and maybe get both of them. But you're right,
Yeah.
the arrow did go to
She
the
did.
queen. She
I
did
thought-
try and kiss the queen.
To me, I thought it would.
Wouldn't it be more beneficial for her to kill the Khan, though? Isn't that
Yeah.
a free ticket home?
Maybe
Well-
Jai set her up.
I think so. This is what I'm thinking. If I'm Zhao Shidao, just because this whole thing is like the praying mantis thing, and like, like the way he does things, like I think he knows, like he wanted to target Chabi because Chabi is like his heart.
Heartstrings, yeah.
You know?
So if you're going to wound a man,
Exactly.
like, don't do it by just killing him, because then his son will take over.
Because then
like,
somebody else will take over, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, though.
Oh, my goodness.
How good was her fight scene, though? Let's be real.
Oh, my
and where
gosh.
did all those people go? I'm like, why is there now suddenly like this huge path that she can
It
fight?
was, when she was doing that, like when I was watching it with June, you could just hear me going, "Oh, God,
Yeah.
damn!" Like, she's just so.
I know. She is so amazing.
She's great. She's like the best fighter on that show right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how lethal and sexy. No, it's just crazy how lethal she is. It was just, when she used the arrows. Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
But why did she do it in such a blatant? There's no way. She had to have figured that there's no way that was gonna work.
She was just so desperate. I mean, imagine you're a mother.
She literally, she literally ran into the horde, like into the army.
But she saw, I mean, that was the whole thing. She turned around, wasn't going to do it, saw a little girl, and was like, this is why I'm here, and then beelined it. And I think that thought was, I'm probably going to die doing this, but hopefully my daughter won't. Like, if I can actually do this, maybe my brother will not torture my daughter.
Which I feel like is a little naive, Maylin.
Yeah, because if you're not
Come
there.
on.
Yeah.
She's definitely led by her emotions as opposed to really taking the time to think. She's hot-blooded, so she's just like,
she got too much yang, not enough yin. She has too much yang, not enough yin.
And
She needs to give some of that to Marco now.
That information, well, we can come back to him, but yeah, that information about, you know, that her daughter is having, that scene, but when I thought it was going to happen again, having the foot binding and stuff like that, it just immediately makes me feel nauseous.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
Yes, that
he's
binding stuff's
terrible.
not good.
That's the rest.
I loved the Empress, too, being like, you're done here.
Oh, yes,
like,
I
you
know.
have no
What will happen
place.
to him?
Why
now?
does she have everybody leave?
She is just, like, getting rid of everyone in her court.
No. Why did she tell all of the people, like all of her supporters, to leave? I would have like embarrassed him in front of everybody.
I think she wanted that one-on-one because they already know he's done. They already know. They already made the decision.
I don't know. I thought that. I don't know. To me, that felt like a mistake.
She wanted to look him in the face and be like, yeah, you're done.
And it's because of the binding? I was unsure why she was
She just doesn't
asking.
like him.
She had some looks in the last couple episodes where you could tell she understood what he was doing, that he killed the people in the parlay, and I think she knew his game and was waiting for the moment or something extra for her to be like, nope.
I enjoyed that moment. I'm like, yeah, you need to leave.
Yeah, you got to get out of here.
I like that.
You are just like not good.
No.
It's not gonna work though. I feel like Zhao Sidao is. I think he's too smart, and the person they got to replace him, he just seems like a country bumpkin who just likes to fight.
He was like waiting, like
Hey guys, what's up?
I'm a really strong warrior.
I want peace, right? Everybody want peace.
And a hug.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, this guy's gonna get
That is
destroyed.
so funny.
Zhao
Well,
Sidao's
he's
gonna
supposed
eat
to
him
be
up.
like one of the most amazing warriors.
When she said she chose a champion, I thought she was gonna have him get challenged by the new guy, and it was gonna be a kung fu fight.
That would have been cool.
rather than him just be like,
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm the chancellor.
I like fighting and pie.
so funny.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
quick shout out because
Yes.
on the last subject. Quick shout out to Kublai in the orgy scene. Everything is going good for Kublai right now.
Isn't it?
I mean, it's just like he almost gets killed, and he doesn't get killed, and then he's in a bed, and like his wife and all his side women, they're there just like
They were like
they're wrestling.
around.
I know.
Doing a rotation.
because like they're like art, you know what I mean? So that's why they paint themselves, I
And
think, because they're like
wrestling's picking
walking,
them up, like, you come
talking.
here.
I'll get you. I'm like, no. Maybe she doesn't want to be get.
Chabi's laughing like, oh yeah, have sex with my husband.
That's so weird to me. Like that to me like breaks my heart. Like I could never.
No.
Just
Chabi is.
Yeah, I could never
She
either.
is so fascinating.
I don't know. I think there's something incredibly sexy about like
A threesome?
Like yes, I do.
My
I
girl
do think.
June.
Oh, really?
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I mean,
cool.
like, okay, I don't know. Like, I think it's beautiful because to me, Chabi and the Khan have such a. it's beyond just like husband and wife. They have a friendship. Like they're connected on such a deep level. Like his pleasure is her pleasure, and her pleasure is his pleasure. And I think there's something very. I think there's something very beautiful about that.
I see what you're saying. Like it's a different way to look at it in a positive light, as opposed to what we see now as people in America being like, monogamy is the only way.
See,
like,
we're
looking at it
but
that
that's
way.
just my. I know that's not everyone's perspective.
But
it's just my
way
perspective.
To look at it.
It's just
because
it's just
they love and
reasons.
trust each other enough to that they can do that. And I mean, he is the con, so like
but it's for him. It's not
like
for her.
he can do what he wants. But at least she's found a way to get to that place of like, your pleasure is my pleasure. That's great.
I just believe that people should just like, I don't know. I'm just not into labels.
She doesn't have any choice. It's not like she'd be like, well, I don't want to do this threesome. Like, all right, well, how about being executed? All right.
No, it doesn't feel that way to me. Does it feel that way to you?
Well, it's not like she can come up and be like,
love, and I think that would be the thing that would make me go, okay, I understand how that could be possible, because I think she really does love him, and I think were that not obvious, I would go, yeah, she's putting on a really good show.
No,
I think she likes him, but it's not like she can just come up and be like, hey, you want to bring in Yusuf in on this? Let's bring in Ahmed. My turn. I want to, and then she's there with like 5 guys.
Right.
And he's not going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. That's not going to happen.
I think it's just interesting. I think I haven't seen a lot of shows of this nature that maybe expose things like that. So my maybe immature way of looking at it or way to relate to it, I'm like, that would hurt my feelings. So I'm not
it's just your view.
But I know you're for it. But I think for me, it's still shocking to see because it's not something I see often on television or anywhere. So I'm still like, wait, she's okay with this? She's laughing, or is she okay with it? And that's where my brain goes because it's not something.
But she
I'm
really
used
did
to seeing.
seem into it, and that scene, like, you've seen her insecurities in different moments.
And you see when Malin comes in too, she shifts.
I think she's dealing. She finds moments like it is what it is. It's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
But she's still. He at least lets her choose. So he's like, I love you enough that look, there's gonna be other women.
We're gonna do
you
this
get to
either
choose.
way.
You choose.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
It's a very interesting relationship.
Yeah, I did like that little clip when she's putting the venom on, where you see the women painting themselves. I thought that was quite cool. Like, it was only a short bit, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
We really saw Malin's heart in this. Like Malin we really saw her heart in this. She really is, so far to me, is probably the most tragic and bravest character so far. Aside from Marco, she's saving her daughter. She has to assassinate like the greatest ruler in the world because her brother's a douche.
Goes for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been way easier had she just kissed him and could have just done. But
I don't think
once she gets there and fights, she just goes for it.
I don't think this is a spoiler, but we do get to see some of her past, which I really enjoyed.
I'm looking forward to that.
What's Malin's past?
Oh, we will?
We do.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's not a lot, but I wanted more, but we do get some backstory eventually. So something to look forward to.
That is something to look forward to. So we've touched on the women. I want to move on to the men. I think maybe starting with the father-son relationships, because we see 2 of this. We see Marco and his dad at the top of the show.
Right.
We see Marco and the Khan, which is kind of become a father-son relationship.
You're absolutely right.
And then we see the Khan and the prince. So I think there are 3 very different relationships that kind of bring in a different thing. So I don't know if there's one in particular that you guys all wanted to discuss, or touch on all of them. I mean, we can start with maybe with Marco and his father. I found it interesting that his dad's like, we will meet again. I thought that was...
Marco warned him?
Yeah, his father looked oddly peaceful, which was really interesting to me.
He just got saved.
Yeah. Right? And I think it was also maybe seeing his son, I don't know, like...
I feel like Marco's dad has Marco exactly where he hoped he would be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I think Marco's dad left Marco hoping that he'd be where he's at now.
Okay.
In favor of... Under the Khan's favor, he knew that his son was talented. So there's definitely something brewing there. I don't even know. I don't know, by the way.
Maybe he saw this... When he left his son there, maybe he saw... that maybe if he got into the likings of, if he got into the good favor of Kublai, that good things would happen for him. You think maybe he saw that and that's why he's so peaceful?
Well, he did mention before that what he wanted for his son was to give him a legacy. And maybe, in seeing this and seeing him walk away with the Khan, like, he understands that he's in it now and that this could be Marco's legacy. And maybe, that is a reason to be peaceful and go, I can walk away now, like, I'm sorry, but we'll see each other again. Yeah. It was an interesting moment.
I wonder...
And he's almost sending him to... Well, from what Boomba was his name again?
Biamba.
Biamba.
Yeah.
From what Biamba was telling him, he's kind of sending him without anything past the Silk Road, and it's very dangerous. So there's a fear. Like Marco has a fear that he might never see him again.
Right.
And Biamba says it's nothing they do not deserve as a way of, because I think you can see Marco's sad.
Like,
sad, of course, right? Yeah. I mean, that's family.
Yeah. And his uncle.
I love that he says nothing. I love that. God, he's
till the very end. Where
he's just so stubborn. We all know people like that.
Yeah. What do you say? He said right here with your foreign devil. He said no. He said
right here with your Mongol devils or something like that. He just got
saved.
I know. He's just a small plate person. He's what I call a small plate person. People are born with different plates, you know? Marco is a big plate person. Kublai is a big plate person. Marco's uncle is a small plate person.
I like this analogy. What do you mean as far as like how much you can put on a plate?
Yeah, exactly. Like how much, like how gracious you are, like how, like what, you know, like how much can you hold, you know? People with small plates are only thinking about themselves and only thinking about exactly. They can't.
That's really interesting, June.
And it's not their fault. That's just who they are.
They just were born with a small plate.
Exactly. I like to think here at the Marco Polo After Show, we're all big plate people. You know?
Yes, we're in a big plate world.
We're one giant
platter.
We're platter people. Good job.
So then we see the Khan and Marco playing, I guess, chess equivalent.
Again, playing games.
Always playing games. Well, actually, first of all, we see the Khan lie to the prince about Marco's trip. So that to me was interesting. Like, if you've got a dad and he chooses to speak truth to one son who's not by blood and lie to your other son.
Well, I'm just gonna keep it real. I just think he thinks Jingham's a softie. Jingham can't handle it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a softie. He's trying this whole episode. He showcased that he's just trying to make this guy strong because, you know, what was it? He has to nut up. And he's not nutting up.
He got to nut up.
He's not nutting up.
He's nutting up.
Nut up
His
or
nuts
shut
aren't
up.
up.
Nut up or shut up, Jingham. He's always whining, even in this episode. He's with Ahmad again, and he's like, oh, you know,
he doesn't want to talk to me.
like nobody loves me. Like,
jeez.
Shut up. People are dying. People are getting assassinated here. Like, seriously, get it together.
He says, "Am I such a burden?" to his dad, and he says, "Oh, you fear I will fail." You kind of
shut up.
Oh, we're being too mean. We love Jingham.
Are we?
We love Jingham.
Or does he need a kick in the ass?
What?
When he argued with Biamba, it was so funny because he's so small. He started to like, Biamba, I'll kill you. And Biamba was looking at him like, Biamba, you could tell he doesn't take him serious. He's
that's so true.
Well, doesn't he say something like, "I like it how you only call me brother when you need something"?
Right.
Biamba's certified.
He could just like push him with his finger and be like, "Be gone with you."
Yeah.
And Jingham would just.
He's a ticking time bomb.
That
kid is just gonna.
I just don't know how he's gonna ruin his life. Like, which way is it gonna be? He's trying too hard.
If he gets the blue princess, and then he finds out the blue princess likes Marco over him.
Oh my God!
You know how crazy he's gonna go?
He'll go to the Hashashan and just be like, "Just take me."
Oh my God! And then the Hashashin would be like, "No, we don't want guys like you.
No,
you're not welcome here.
You're the worst.
Am I such a burden to everyone?
Oh, that's so sad.
But it's true. He is really whiny. I thought it was interesting though. The Khan's conversation with Marco was being listened to by
Yusuf.
Yeah. So. Because we spoke a little bit last week about our predictions about who is the little snake in the garden or kitchen, as we wanted to call it. And so there were a few moments for me that made me wonder, keep guessing. So there's this scene with the Khan and Marco, and then Marco leaves, and then Yusuf comes in, and I think the Khan says, and I was trying to write it down, was something like, "But should I trust you?"
Yeah, that was awesome.
So Yusuf's kind of going.
He starts stuttering.
He didn't answer. Well, yeah, the Khan goes to Marco, like, to Yusuf, "Should I trust Marco?" And I think Yusuf's response was, "Well, if he was guilty, he would have tried to, you know." So I thought, okay, cool, that's Marco off the hook. But then he goes, "But can I trust you?" And he has no response. So it's...
No, I think Yusuf thought he was so... even though he knows what it is, he thinks he's just so... He thinks he's so in his good esteem and good graces.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Got you.
I just think he feels he's in his good graces so well that he didn't expect that. He was being a little naive. And then when he saw that, he was like, "Oh, you don't trust me either."
So you thought it was surprise, not guilt, but like, oh, so I'm not safe here. I'm not as close to you as I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think Yusuf's good enough to know that if he did do the deed and he's being accused right there, he's not going to be so blatant. But I gotta go, and I can't play right now. I gotta leave. Something's on the fire. I'm cooking. I'll see you. You know, I don't think he'd be that.
I just thought it was cool. That was a better way. I think I watched it and I was like, whoa, like, we're just gonna leave that in
Captain
there.
Obvious, maybe?
Yeah, it's like, okay.
I think Kublai really trusts Yusuf.
Is that a spoiler?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You said
I see. All right.
Like a super Captain Obvious moment.
Not that I've seen
like it was going to be followed by something, but you're
tells
like,
me
no, I don't have to explain it.
Kublai's a Mongol. I don't know.
Yeah. I
If
got you,
anybody
girl.
So good.
Okay.
So good. Okay, so who were we pointing fingers at? I was saying that because I
You
felt
thought
like this.
Yusuf, right? Or no, you thought.
I thought it was Ahmad.
Ahmed. I thought it was Biamba. I'm hoping, like, this is one I'm hoping I'm wrong. Because I like the guy. He's my favorite now. I like him.
Yeah.
The sexual tension between warrior princess named her and Biamba. When I first saw them eye darting at each other, I was like, "Ooh, an alliance," and I kind of thought, "Ooh, an alliance," off the back of you being like, "Hey, maybe there's something going on." But if they're just cousins who want to make out, maybe that's all. Maybe that's all I was reading.
Right, because Yusuf was like, "I have no blood or nothing. Like I can't aspire to any kind of position." But Biamba does have blood. That's a good point.
What about when Biamba was? I mean, I don't want to sidetrack, but when Biamba was with the warrior princess, and
back to when you were making out,
when they're about to fight, and then he goes, "Are you maybe you want me to beat you in wrestling?
Yeah,
because you like, want this."
Not yet. Maybe we should play with sticks.
Let's just fight with swords.
Are you afraid I'd win? No.
But that's crazy that she would be like that, though. Considering that she just straddles men. When she wants a man, she straddles him. I mean, maybe she likes his little
whole
playful.
thing with Marco?
Straightforward, Michael.
What is her whole thing with Marco? I don't know.
She wants to test him out.
Yeah, I think she just was like,
the color of the rainbow.
Latin. I'm going to play with
she
him.
just wants to be adventurous.
See if he nuts up. Hey.
He didn't shut up.
Well, because you had that prediction, so I was like, oh, I wonder if that adds to it, because she comes in and suddenly she's like besties with everyone and protecting. I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah, she did come in really like, I am here to protect you.
And they were like, okay, great. She's
they like
great.
her. Yeah, they like her a lot.
Yeah.
Who was your prediction?
I do not remember my answer.
I think you were Ahmad.
Yeah.
I think I didn't predict anyone. I said I'm wary to assume it's anyone because I think they're trying to make us assume it's someone very obvious, and I didn't want to assume it was
did say that.
Yusuf or Ahmed because I thought it's too easy. Like those would be the people you'd assume. Today when I was watching for a second, I was like, could the Blue Princess be behind it? Like she has mentioned several times she doesn't want to be there to run. That we find out she's lying. She's not actually
she's
the Blue
like
Princess.
trying to get Marco away because she wants to protect him.
Yeah, so I thought, could it be like out of left field that she
Just behind something. What is her end goal? Like what?
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
We don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she thinks she could do more as the Blue Princess. I mean,
Like actually help people.
Maybe we
But
can
it
do
was
some
such a-
predictions. So we need to do predictions about the Blue Princess.
Yeah.
And we need to do predictions about Mei Lin, whether or not she's dead. Yeah. Mental note, we'll come back to those.
Yeah, we'll do predictions in a minute. I did want to mention, because there was a great line, and I'll try and find it, with 100 Eyes, our favorite character. His little appearance in the scene. And it was like, if you miss by an inch, you miss by a mile. Something along those lines.
Said it twice.
If you lose, you lose. I think that's what I took it as. If you miss it, you miss it.
Well,
I heard something different because it was all about suspecting people, and I think his advice was, if you are not certain that it was someone, do not say it, because if you miss by an inch, you miss by a mile. So like, were he to accuse someone to Kublai and go, it was Yusuf, if he isn't 100% sure, that's someone who could just be killed, and then you find out it wasn't him, you missed by an inch, you missed by a mile.
Gosh, I just had like a crazy thought. What if it's 100 Eyes? And he's not blind.
Oh my God.
That'd be crazy.
This whole movie, it's like Book of Eli.
Oh. We had a whiteboard message. What was it?
I think we should go into we should go into predictions.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so
wait. Can I share one line? I really loved how Marco was so clever, and he was like, when he went to go talk to Yusuf, he was like, we don't come to accuse, we come to seek advice. And I thought that was really, really smart.
I really liked the buddy cop comedy thing they had going, the good cop bad cop with Biamba. That was so cool how they were just going from place to place, and Marco was the cool guy and Biamba was just like, what'd you say to me? Oh, okay. I really like that.
I love their dynamic.
Yeah, really good dynamic.
This show gets better and better.
It does.
I gotta say.
Agree. Yeah, I thought it was a great episode, and I think there was a lot of information, and then it kind of peaked at the end, which is, I think it needs a fight scene, and a good fight scene in every episode. Let's be real. Okay, predictions about Blue Princess. What do you guys think will happen?
And now, you're AfterBuzz TV.
I'm getting nauseous. All right.
I think that the Blue Princess has more going on than we think.
Okay.
We're learning about her past, and maybe she's a little bit sneaky.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means exactly. I just, I'm suspicious of her. I'm aware and alert. And then Mei Lin, I think she's alive, and poor thing, she's probably going to be tortured or murdered in the next episode.
Oh, God. All right. Okay, Endgame with Blue Princess. I don't know Endgame, but I do predict she will marry the whatever Jingham. When they get together, and she's gonna fall. When she falls for Marco, it's gonna cause
more
a three-way,
drama,
but not the three-way we were talking about before.
That we're used to. No.
Right.
A love triangle.
It will be a love triangle. And Mei Lin.
What happens to Toga though? Who kills who? Is Toga gonna run away, or Toga gets killed?
Sacrifice his life for her.
You think he's gonna sacrifice his life for her?
Oh, that's a good one. I'll go with that.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Mei Lin's probably gonna get tortured and killed. I don't understand how she's gonna get out.
Unless they use her to get to
Jashidao.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
As leverage or something. I don't know.
Mei Lin killed.
If she
and
gets
three-way. That's what I got.
if she gets a chance to speak, I suppose will be the next thing. What about you, Jen?
Well, I know everything. What about you?
Can you give us any teasers or no?
I already gave you guys a teaser.
Too much.
I already gave you guys a teaser. We'll find out more about Mei Lin's past, which is very interesting.
Great.
That's cool. I think that for me, predictions, I think we're going to see a lot more of Marco next episode. I think it was interesting how little he played in this episode. So I think hopefully
that's true. That's true.
He didn't feature a lot. So I think he's obviously collected some information in this episode, and looking forward to it. But we'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yes.
Make sure you share your thoughts with us. And to wrap up the show, I am Kimberly Crossman. You can find me at Kim Crossman.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Miss June Lee, MS_June Lee.
You can find me on Twitter at Michael Drew, or is it Michael _Drew? And Instagram,
I think it's _Drew.
Yeah, Michael _Drew
It'll be
for
below
Twitter.
your screen.
Yeah, you'll see it. It's somewhere.
It's down there.
Oh, Michael.
And Instagram is straight Michael Drew.
And I'm Katie Wilbert, and you can tweet at me at Katie Wilbert or go on Instagram at Katie Wilbert.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Good job, Kimberly.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.